Hello everyone and welcome back to the music workshop. So today what we'll be doing, last week we did music appreciation where we went through certain music themes of famous games, mainly Final Fantasy VII because I like it. Yeah, but today what we'll be doing is we'll be analyzing more in detail what makes a good theme, what makes a good song. Okay, so there's a lot of things that make a good song. And actually I realized in the process of doing the slides, I realized that most of my knowledge for music cannot be codified into words. Okay, because music, if you put them into like music theory, you will end up very rigid sounding pieces, like classical pieces. Yeah, so I encourage you to try to find your own like inner whatever make it sound nice. Okay, because you realize actually in music trends, the popular pieces of music, like for example guitar music, actually those that deviate from the norm. Okay, not too much, but deviate a bit such that people think, oh, this is quite original. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like there are different kinds of music, like especially the most outrageous where they mix all the like orchestra, musical style, rock style. That one is actually done. I can't remember the song name, but it's a Mama Just Killed a Man. You know that song? Like what's the title of that song? But basically that song involves many different genres. I suddenly can't remember the title. You know the title?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes, correct. Yeah, so you see all these like pop songs, actually the famous ones, right? Actually sometimes don't follow a fixed recipe. Okay, so but today what we'll be going through is some common heuristics you can use. Okay, but try to just keep them in mind, but don't stick to them. Okay, because the moment you stick to them, your music will be predictable. Then you'll be like one of the many pop songs that exist right now, because pop songs follow the same formula: introduction, bridge, chorus, bridge, repeat again from intro, chorus, and maybe they raise the key up one more time, then end. Yeah, so it's the same formula. Everyone does that. So yeah, depend. But game music is slightly different. Game music, the formula involves actually repeating the theme many times. So this one is what Gabriel would call the motif, where you repeat the theme many times. And that one I'll be covering more in the final week. Okay, because that one is mainly how to capture attention, which actually works for games. Yeah. All right. So what is today's thing about? So you can look over here the slides. Okay, let me just expand here because I don't need to switch yet. Okay, so this is what we'll be covering today. Different instruments, tempo, rhythm. Okay, so as I said, treat all this with a pinch of salt. Okay, this are just giving you some foundation, but later on, feel free to vary accordingly. All right, so instruments and moods. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the instrument on BandLab. Okay, and you're going to tell me how this instrument makes you feel. Okay, so first instrument is piano. All right, so let's go. All right. Firstly, the video is in the way. Where's my piano? Keyboards. Yeah, so we will go for a grand piano. Okay, so we have a grand piano now. And what I will do is I will start to record. Wait a minute. Sorry, the video is in my way. Okay, very good. So now I'll start recording. So this is the piano. Okay, so I'll record a song. Then like you'll just tell me how you feel. Okay. All right, that was a misclick, but yeah. So how okay, this like what kind of mood does this give you?
It's hard to say, man. It's very neutral. I don't know.
Okay, so this is one kind of sound that a piano can create. Okay, what did Edwin say? Relax. Okay, the piano can also do like this kind. Okay. Oh, I missed the. Okay, let me re-record again. Okay, there's some error with my pressing of the key. So actually you are right. Actually, I don't need record. I can just play here. So actually, piano can be very it can be very relaxing. It can be very formal also. Like if you do a chord like that. can sound very grand also. It can sound very sad also like that. Yeah, so indeed, piano is actually a universal sound. You can use piano to create any mood you want. Happy, sad, relaxing. Okay, but usually in like game music, piano tends to be the more relaxing one. Like a Riffs Theme, they use the piano as the background to make it sound nice. Like a Riffs Theme is. Yeah, so that's Aries theme. They make the theme sounds very relaxing. So usually I would say piano more for the relaxing part, because if you want to use piano for the sad one, there's better instruments. Okay, because now we are not limiting our repertoire to a piano. We have like the whole orchestra at our fingertips. Okay, so let's take a look. French horns. Okay, next instrument is French horns. So that will be strings. No, sorry, not strings. That will be winds. French horn. Okay, so let's see French horn. Okay. All right. So what does this make you feel? Yeah, you all can respond. Yeah, what kind of mood does the French horn create? Grand. Okay, very good. Grand. Yeah. So actually, in if you realize in Final Fantasy games, they use the French horn for very like royalty. You go to a castle, pop 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 pop, that kind of thing. All right. So actually, it's quite similar to like trumpet, brass, all this. So if we go to like trumpet, you can also see a similar effect. So it can also be a signal to like start the fight or something like. And boom, the drums can come in. Yeah. So this has uses. I mean, in the orchestra, they also tend to perform more majestic sections. Okay, now we go to violin. Okay, so I'm just showing you all this. If you want to, you can also try it out in BandLab yourself. So the BandLab is bandlab.com. Create your own. Okay, then when you go to add track, you can then add one track. Okay, you want to change the instrument, you click on this instrument here, and you can click on the instrument like that. So if you want, you can also follow through, because later on when you create your own song, there will be a practical exercise today where you create your own version of a song. When you create your own song, I would like you all to experiment out with any kind of instrument you like. Okay, you don't have to stick to a piano. So now we go with violins. Okay, so let's do solo violin. Okay, I mean there's also like viola, which is a higher violin. Okay, but violin. Okay, let's see the mood of violin. Okay, actually violin got two kinds of moods. Actually. I mean this song is actually like meant to be a sadder song. All right, I mean, but you can also do happy songs. You can even play can on the violin. So violin got different kinds of moods. Oh, that's not can. Then what's that? I always knew it by can.
That's all the joy.
Sorry, what?
That's all the joy.
Ode to Joy, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, then what's can?
It's
we can do
Oh.
it. Can.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I mixed up. All right, but basically, violin can be very happy, can be sad. But most of the time, I hear violins in. Yes, that's the Jubit song. That's correct. You add some drums, is the Jubit song already. Yeah. So violin can be happy, can be sad, but most of the times I hear violins in game songs. Guess, are they more happy or sad when you hear a violin? I mean, it depends on your game, but most of the time when I hear violin in game songs, they tend. You have any response? Like, what do you think a violin is?
Yeah, it's usually more sad.
Yeah. Usually it's sad, right? Yeah. Like
As
FF7. Yep, sorry, Gabriel.
As a violinist, I would say that violins, I think the best way to use it is for drama. So even if it's happy or sad, all right, what you do is you add that violin to make the emotion stronger. So
Well said. Yeah. So it does have the amplifying effect because it has the reverberation.
And we all three play different instruments. We can have a whole quartet.
a whole band.
Yeah, we can have a chamber music.
Correct. So actually the violin is very flexible as well. But normally when the violin plays, you will notice it. Okay, because it's very sharp, very sustained. Yeah. Even more sustained than the guitar, the acoustic guitar. Okay, so the next one is a distorted guitar. So distorted guitar, I would treat it like a rock band guitar. So it is something like, maybe you can talk about like funk guitar. Okay, no, this doesn't have the feel. Okay, so maybe something like dirty power chord. I'm not a guitar specialist, but this kind of distorted guitar is like some rock guitar, which tends to be like very swingy, very abrupt, very sudden and fast in pace. Yeah. So it would be easier if you plug in your own guitar to do the guitar part because it's harder to press keys. Yeah, but if you want to do guitar, there's also guitar over here. Okay, then we go to acoustic guitar. So you can hear the acoustic guitar. All right, something like that. So the acoustic guitar, actually let me just expedite. So acoustic guitar, I think is meant to be more relaxing. Yeah, that's my opinion of it. What do you think? Yeah, you hear acoustic guitar like you play on pop songs and stuff. Yep. Edwin and Tadis, you have any comments on that?
I think the guitar can be sad as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Or maybe nostalgic, per se. But I think the guitar particularly has nostalgia attached to it. At least in a lot of games I play. It's
the
like
guitar has what?
It's like the pause menu music or like the secret room music, you know?
Yeah. It's the more like relaxing kind, right? Where you just like loop over like a certain theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can even play Riffs Theme on guitar also. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, so it works also. It's like a relaxing. It can be relaxing, holding music. Yeah, in fact, when people play guitar when they strum it, also can be quite nice. Okay, but don't ask me how to strum inside this band lab. Okay, I don't know how to. I think it's very difficult. Yeah, it's best to use the original guitar. Okay, so pipe organ. So let's hear it. So it's under organs. Pipe organ. Where is that? Where is that? Church organ. So actually it's like church organ. So let's hear it. Sounds okay, right? Anyway, the church organ, if you play the actual instrument, there's actually 3 rows of keys, or 2 or 3 rows of keys, depending on the instrument. So I tried learning it once. It was very difficult because there's no sustain pedal on the church organ. So you need to sort of like slide your thumb while you go through the keys, okay, in order to sustain, which which is difficult. Yeah. So church organ, the mood itself. What do you think of the mood?
The only thing I can think of is toccata and fugue. Like
Because you play with organ before, is it?
no, just like the Bach piece, the Dracula one,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing you think about.
Dong, is it?
Yeah.
How does it start with?
I don't know. I'm not pitch perfect, man. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Yeah. So it does have the
It's very Castlevania.
Actually, you can use this to create Castlevania themes because it's like castle. So actually, different instruments have their users at giving the different moods. Yeah. In fact, pipe organ also used to play wedding march. Okay, I don't have enough keys. Dong. Okay, this part is a bit hard to play in my keyboard, but yeah. So that you can play majestic pieces with the church organ. Okay, let's move on to the next one, marimba. All right. So marimba is under, I think it's maybe percussion. Yeah. So let's hear a marimba. I mean, there's other things also, but marimba is like. It's the very soothing feel also. Yeah. So if you want to use marimba in your music, it can be, I personally find it's a happy piece. Yeah. So it's very hard to create a sad song with a marimba. You can try creating it. Actually, it might be possible, but the marimba instrument itself isn't made for sad songs. Yeah, in my own honest opinion. Yeah. What do you think about the marimba?
Yeah, it's like I played it a lot in high school. It's like a jungle thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I think xylophone is also a very happy piece.
Yeah, it's very high though. That's something. It doesn't sound like a xylophone at all. What is that?
Unfortunately, we have to deal with whatever we have here.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I mean, there's also bells.
Oh yeah.
Bells can do like.
I think you have to hold it for it to work.
Something like that. Yeah. So all these are happy instruments. Yeah, you can check it out. There's what clap slap. I have no idea what's that, but there's a lot of instruments here. Okay, let's go to the more interesting one, choir. Okay, BandLab does have choir also, so that's quite interesting because it's a voice. So you can do like a choir synth. So let's hear how the choir sounds like. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really sound like real choir, but it has the reverb kind of feeling. So you can try. I quite like this solo female R. It sounds nicer actually. But it's a bit laggy, so I don't like it. You know, like Amazing Grace. If they can make the thing a bit faster, it'll be better. Yeah, so because of the lag, this may be a bit hard to use, but there's like others like large focus. Doesn't sound like choir, right? Yeah. How about this? R synth. Okay, so unfortunately, the choir we have here don't have the like the Sephiroth theme. They actually, I was using like choir synth to do it, so it's like. Yeah, so unfortunately, BandLab doesn't have a very strong choir, but if you hear a choir voice, it normally sounds very more grand, more majestic, like oh, yeah. So it's a good addition if you have like very dramatic scenes. Like in games where you have a final boss fight, usually a very difficult boss, you'll hear Latin being played, like Sephiroth. Yeah, so they suddenly have the Latin, da, 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 da. You have no idea what's going on. You know it's very epic already. So that's choir. So lastly, we have the drums. So the drums, I'll be like going through more about how to like mix with your beat next week. But the idea is you can create drums like you can use a drum machine, something like that. You can create pre-made beats already. But it's very limited because it's limited to like one. But just based on these drums alone, what do you think about the drum instrument? Okay, let me delete this track because I don't want this. Yeah. So how do you feel about the drum instrument?
It's necessary.
Yeah, actually the drums are important for games where there's a lot of action involved, like what we analyzed last week. Like you have action, you want to emphasize tung, 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 tung. You know, actually if the instrument is of the quick enough pace, right, it actually can cause your heartbeat to go faster. So it actually helps to pump the adrenaline, especially like for games where it's like a very challenging game. You'll hear tung, 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 tung. Yeah, so it's actually to be a prime. Our human bodies are very susceptible to this kind of primes. It primes the human body to expect excitement. Yeah, so you can study about this. Music actually helps to prime the body a lot, prime the mind a lot, actually. So that's why stuff like motifs, where you repeat the theme for certain parts, actually work because it leads you to associate with something. Yeah, so there's actually a lot of psychology behind music. Okay, so this is like the things that I want to show you all. Okay, actually I'll be just going through the rest on the slides. Then we'll go BandLab as a whole later. Okay, so piano, universal, triumphant for French horns, excitement for trumpet, sadness, passion. So indeed, as what Gabriel said, violin is like when you have a drama kind of thing, you emphasize it. Distorted guitar is like strength, guitar is calmness, organ is powerful, solemn, marimba is happy, choir is majestic, and drums is upbeat. So these are the general moods. Okay, there's of course more moods than that, but these are the typical ones that can be used. All right. So what I'll go through next is tempo. Okay, so tempo is like the beats per minute of your song. So a fast tempo is like this. So that's about like 160 beats per minute. Yeah, so if you want to do like slow tempo, like 80 beats per minute, it'll be like that. Yeah, I think it's a bit faster than that. But basically, what is fast and what is slow? So fast is normally like rhythm games, okay? Because you put too slow, it's very easy. So how many of you have played this game up here? You all recognize it?
Oh, what game is that?
Or maybe it's my generation. This is Audition. Audition Southeast Asia. It's a music game. I don't know. Gabriel, you played before?
No, but is it like DDR?
Similar. It's just that you need to, within the span of 4 beats, you need to press all your arrows and then you press the space bar at the last beat. Okay. So based on whether you hit the right note or not, you get like perfect, great, miss, and so on. Yeah, so games like this, actually the soundtrack are generally the faster ones. Like Jubit, you can treat it like Jubit rhythm games. And you normally notice a lot of drums, okay? Because the drums help you to keep your rhythm. So you hear all the Jubit sounds, actually most of them have drums. And those without drums, you realize you actually do worse at the game. Okay, try and test it, okay? Because I played this game as well. audition, and then there are some songs that they take some very relaxing pop song. There's no drums at all. Not pop song, but just background music kind. And it's so hard to hit the note. I have to use visual cues to hit it. So if you want to do rhythm games, right, please put the drums in. Okay? Please put the drums in for your song with rhythm games. It will help a lot with the pressing of the beat, pressing of the notes. Okay, action-based games as well. Yeah, like you have a fight scene, fighting music. Please also use the drums. It helps a lot to keep the tempo up. Okay, fast-paced music also associated with happy songs. Okay, you normally don't have happy songs that are slow. So it's like jingle bells, jingle all the way is a happy song. You imagine you sing jingle bells very slowly. Let me demonstrate. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Does it sound happy? I mean, it's the same.
It sounds like one of those soul singers that are trying to make it bluesy or something.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those saxophone kind, right? Yeah. So it can be relaxing, slow. Okay, but usually slow, what you see over here, okay, is associated with like horror scenes where you have like the Witcher or something. You have like very like dramatic, dong, they drag that note, dong. Yeah. So associated with emotional scenes. Okay, like this one is spoiler. Okay, this is where Ares dies in Final Fantasy VII. Okay, so that okay, of course the different kind of things differ. So over here, when this happened, they actually played Ares Theme, which is not very slow. Okay, it's actually more actually it's slow. Actually, Ares Theme is quite slow. So yeah, so yeah, but slow is generally associated with sadness or suspenseful moments or relaxing. Okay, I didn't add the relaxing here, but as you said, like the jazz players, they also can go slow and it sounds relaxing. Lounge music, yeah, works well. Okay, any other things you want to add for this two? These are just some rough categorizations of this. Okay, if not, let's move on. So rhythm. Okay, so what's a rhythm? Okay, so the best way to gauge rhythm, okay, other than the music notation, is to just demonstrate it by a heartbeat. Okay, your heartbeat is a regular rhythm most of the time. You can see it's either normal, fast, or slow. But then if you have this kind of like pom pom, 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 I think better go and check out with it because this is irregular, it's dangerous. Okay, so in music, most of the time the rhythm is regular, which means it's a fixed rhythm. Okay, but there are cases whereby the music can be irregular, which means that they can be jazzy. So jazz is a highly irregular music. If you play jazz, you will understand why, because they actually have the notes, right? Although they put like two notes of equal length, like a quaver in the score, but when you play, actually you drag the first note more, then you jump to the second note. So there's a bit of swingy feeling. So that's the nature of the genre. But most cases when you create music, you will probably create regular music where basically the beat, the rhythm is standard. Okay, you only go to like irregular after you have established this regular rhythm in someone's mind. Then you surprise them with the irregular one. Okay, so this actually works to make it music more interesting. I will explain more about this surprisal later. So if I were to sum up music in 2 words, right? Actually, music is like opium for the mind, okay, or the reward signal for the mind. Why? Because humans, we like 2 things. One is predictability, where you want to be able to predict what comes next. Like you see your hand go forward, you want to know where it comes next. So actually, if you hear a song that is regular, you roughly know when the next beat is coming. Your mind will reward itself for predicting, yes, the beat is there. Then like, yes, I get rewarded. The second reward mechanism is actually novelty. So it's actually counter. So like one reward mechanism is about prediction. The second is novelty. Okay, why? Because the brain gets bored after a while. Imagine you do the same task over and over again. You get very, very bored, right? Because it is like boring to you after a while you mastered it. So one, you maximize predictability. The second one, you maximize novelty. So as such, if you can create a music piece, okay, that does both. So this is called repetition with variation or surprisal. So if you can create, so a good piece of music does have these 2 elements. So you repeat the music to let people know that, yes, you got it right. Congratulations, brain. You predicted the next verse correctly. But then you also want to put some variation in it. If not, it can be very stale. Imagine if I repeat like the jingle bells, jingle bell, I repeat forever. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. You will go crazy. I can tell you that. But if you do like jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, it sounds okay because at least there's some variation. But if you imagine jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell, I think people will go crazy. Yeah. So if you want to create music, just remember these are the two main things. So a general successful piece of music will feature some form of repetition with a bit of variation and surprisal. Okay, so that's what I want to highlight. Okay, this is very important. Actually, we can just end the theory part here because I think this is the main message I want to give. Okay, but for the sake of completeness, I'll cover the rest as well. Okay, because I prepared quite a bit for you. Okay, so this is the musical notation. So I think most of y'all here play music, right? So
sorry, Chongmin, are you showing the slides difference? For are there different slides for each of the topics that you're talking?
My slide sharing is paused, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Do you manage to catch my predictability and variation?
I think the gist of it makes
okay. So basically the slide has been here all the time, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, can. So I'll go on to like music notation. Thanks for pointing out. I'll go on to music notation. So this is the music notation. So we actually have a few notes. I think most of y'all here already know. So we have a C, which is below these two black keys. And then it repeats again to another C, just a higher pitch. So you can just keep going up. And up here we have the flats, like C sharp or D flat. So music is a very weird thing. Okay, because we call this actually C sharp is like one key above and D flat is one key below. Okay, but honestly, if you are creating music just from the visual keyboard itself, you don't need to know how this sounds like. You just need to know that all the notes actually move up one semitone each. So what is a semitone? A semitone is actually a unit of difference between notes. So each note actually moves up by one semitone. Then this black to this white is another semitone, and white here and so on. Yeah, so actually if you want to be very, very precise, okay, this F over here, okay, this F over here can also be called E sharp. I mean, if you really want to, but no one calls it that. Yeah, so music is very weird. Okay, you have very inconsistent notation. Like you can also call this E sharp, right? No one's stopping you to. You can also call E F flat, right? Yeah. So honestly, but these are not known conventions. I mean, but if you see the way the music is notated, it's very like it's like half doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, why don't we call this first note A? Why must we call it C? Right? If we start at C. So for this case, just know that it starts at C and then it goes up. Yeah. So one octave is from this C to this C. It spans 14 semitones, if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, sorry, 12 semitones. Yeah, it spans 12 semitones. Okay, questions for this? Okay, so the next part here, basically I'll demonstrate this later, but usually techniques to create sad songs or happy songs. Happy songs, we use the major scale. So later I'll demonstrate how a major scale sounds like. And for sad songs, we use a minor scale like this. So yeah, later we'll experiment with this. So keys actually make a difference also to the mood, because if you have more like this kind of unnatural flats, it sounds a bit like not harmonious. And then when it's not harmonious, like it has a bit of clashiness, and then it will sound a little sad or suspenseful. Yeah, depending on how much you do the clashing notes. Yeah, so in terms of sound wise, there's nice sound and not so nice sound. So the nice sound is like the major keys. Okay, if you play things in the major keys, all of them sound quite nice. You play in the minor key, some parts will clash a bit, and that emphasizes the mood. Okay, so there are different intervals. So if you have intervals that is in the minor section, that means it's like based on this minor scale, it will sound sad. Okay, if you have in the major intervals, you sound happy. Okay, I'll leave you to check out this link. Okay, do you have the slides, by the way? No, right? You all don't have the slides. I'll send you all the link later in the Discord chat. Okay, because Discord too big to host this slide. I'll send you all the slides. Okay, so you can hear this one. This is basically a very nice site that tells you like how these different intervals sound like. Okay, and what kind of songs are they using. So they are used to do different moods. Like for example, if you do like an interval that is like based on this C and this C sharp, da-dum, 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 da-dum is used in like Jaws when the shark goes da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Yeah, so So there are different ways to use this. Okay, of course, the more you put notes in between the larger intervals, the grander it sounds like, because it sounds more complete. Okay, you cover the entire scale, it sounds more complete rather than a very loose, like you hear dong, dong, in between is plain, so you don't get the feel. So normally people dong, da, 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 so you get a whole range of sounds. So if you want to create very grand sounds, you typically use more keys and you repeat more keys across different scales of your instrument so that it has a grander feeling. It sounds more complete to you. Okay, so these are some techniques that I will touch on some of them next week also, how to overlay a song so that it sounds grand at certain parts. Okay, these are some techniques we can use. So another thing that makes your song sounds nice is using chords. Okay, so remember I say if you overlay more notes, you can get a grander sound. So if you use like chords, so here is C, E, and G, like you will generally think it will sound nicer than just having one single note itself. Okay, because it has the more complete range. So in chords are usually used to like harmonize like your song. So you can put the chords as a separate soundtrack that runs concurrently with your main soundtrack. Okay, so chords, again, there's different chords. There's major chords and minor chords. And you use minor chords, okay, when you basically want to do, okay, maybe I ask you, okay, major chord is for what kind of mood? Gabriel say happy, yeah.
Positive.
Positive. How about minor chords?
Spooky.
Sorry, what?
Spooky.
Yeah, a bit sad. I can't really hear what you said, but yeah, spooky. All right, but it's actually more sad, suspenseful kind. So there's this other thing. So this one is actually, I saw this one in Gabriel's slides last sem, and I quite like it. So I mean, the return to tonic part. So I decided to put it here. Okay, because this return to tonic, what it means is that if you start off with a certain note, okay, when you end the song, you can do whatever you want, but when you end it, you should end off with the same note again. Okay, this is actually a very proven psychological thing. Okay, why? Because humans like closure. Okay, you start off with one note, you better close on the same note. If not, it will sound like the song hasn't ended. Okay, so some songs use this technique, like they can go from the first note, okay, then they go to like the fourth note, and then after they transit to a new key that is in between the first and the fourth note. Yeah, so there's more advanced technique that does that, and it will sound natural because it still has this key and this key. Then you introduce a new key. Okay, but for the purposes of this music workshop, we are not going to go into the business of changing keys, okay, because that's very complex business. But you just need to know that when you start off with a certain note like C, you can finish your whole song, you should end with C again. Okay, or at least your chord should end with C. Mainly it's the melody should end with C. Okay. So next thing, we will go through like arpeggios versus chords. So arpeggios, later I'll demonstrate this. Arpeggios will sound quick. Like, remember last week we heard about the prelude? Yeah, so it sounds quick and very light. It sounds relaxing. Chords will be very heavy, like dong, 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 dong. Yeah. So these are the two kinds of moods you want to create. Typically for game songs, we go for arpeggios. All right. Chords, if you want to do chords, it's fine. But you can also do a chord-like kind of atmosphere with a heavy instrument, like maybe a trumpet, basically something that emphasizes it. So you may not need to do all three notes like that, or all four notes. Yeah, but these are the two different kinds of things we can do. So this is like the sheet music for the prelude. You can see that it just repeats the same thing again and again, and then you go down again. So you notice something when you extend up. Where does this end at? It ends at a C. Okay, then when it goes down, what note does it end at? Okay, so for those who don't know, this actually ends at a D. Okay, so it's weird, right? But over here, this part, okay, so this part, after it ends here, this is actually an A. So it switches to another another chord altogether. Okay, so this case actually by right, if you want to end the song here, okay, you should end at a C. Okay, if not, the song will sound very weird. Okay, but because in this case we are transiting to a different key, all right, we are transiting to a different key. So this one starts at A. It is okay because the transition from like this A to this D, you can count the number of notes. 1, 2, 3 is about 3. Yeah. So in terms of the sound wise, it's still okay. Yeah, so a typical chord progression. Okay, so this one is a bit more technical. So a typical chord progression that sounds nice. You can try this in your song. C, A, F, G. So this is used in many songs like so let me just show you the piano one because it's easier to understand. So this is used in many songs like, okay, so in the chord progression that you can use, you can start with here. You can start with C, then you go to A, then you go to F, then you go to G. So you know, there's this song called Canon in D. Yeah, the chord progression actually is very similar to this. Yeah, there's a lot of other songs, right? You can use the same chord progression and it will still sound nice. Yeah, so I would treat this C, A, F, G as a generic chords for any song. Yeah, you can mix and match. Doki Doki Literature Club. Sorry, you mean they also use this chord progression? Yeah, okay, I don't know because I never heard that one. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of songs. If you are out of ideas of what chord to go to, you can go there. So you can see this prelude starts with C, goes to A, it will later go to F, if I remember correctly, then you go to G. So it is a very interesting progression. Okay, so this one I want you all to watch this with me. Okay, so this is back then. Okay, Mozart was kind of bored. All right, so he decided to sort of do some improvisation and decide to create some music of. Okay, so. Okay, what I will do now is I will share my YouTube video. Okay, I want you all to analyze this part here because this will be our activity later. So each one of us, you have about 15 minutes to create your own version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Okay, so now let's hear what Mozart has to say. So these are all classical variations. I will highlight some variations to highlight what kind of mood they bring about. Okay, so let's hear it. Can you hear? Okay, after this, you just let me know if you can hear the sound. Okay. Okay, don't worry about this one because this is, you have to follow the whole chords. Okay, you just need to know this the usual Twinkle Twinkle Little Star progression. So this is the normal one. You can see that he does like matching chords also, like E chord. This is a chord, yeah. So all these chords are based on the notes above this chord matches. Right, so let's go to the more interesting one. So this is the bass. When you realize the rhythm is very regular, right? Alright. This one is a bit. Okay, what's the difference between this? It's a very fast starting part. So they vary the rhythm for this. Vary the tempo. Okay. So we skip this. Okay, what is this? This is the tempo being varied on the left hand on the bass. Just now you heard the tempo being varied on the main melody. This one is being varied on the accompaniment. Okay, let's skip this. Okay. Alright. So this is what I thought about, like the phrasal here. Okay, let's pause here. So all along he's been using like quavers and like this kind of water quavers, or I can't remember the name for this, semi-quavers. Yeah, so basically he's been using very regular rhythms and suddenly he springs in a 3-2 rhythm. Or here is a triplet. So you can hear that there's a bit of irregularity in the front rhythm to this variation. So there's a bit of using of surprisal here to give you a new feeling, right? Okay, so we move on to the next. I'll highlight another notable variation. Okay, I'll skip this. Okay. So I want you to hear this part here and let me know how you feel about this variation later. All right, what are your thoughts about this? Yeah, so yeah, anyone can answer, yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'll just give my comments on this. So you can see that the earlier variations, the melody is focused on one hand. Here you can see the melody jumping between both hands or both instruments. So this is a form of like co-sharing of the melody. So these techniques you can do also for different instruments. One instrument play one part, the other instrument play another part. It will sound different also from that. So these are some examples of what we can do. All right, next. I'm gonna skip this. This is actually very similar to the earlier one. I think Mozart ran out of ideas here, so this version looks very similar. Okay, this is my favorite variation. Okay, so okay, hear this. Notice this is a minor key. Okay, so unfortunately, this is a MIDI recording. It sounds horrible. But if you play this out in real life, you can actually add some expressions here to make it sound nice. So this is what I mean by you can use a minor key to make like a sad song. So this is the minor key version of the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. All right. So there's other variations next. Okay, we skip this. Okay, this one. Can you see that he uses this thing called like you have a regularity here? Like this part here is he introduces this regularity for everyone. And then after that, he goes on to break it, okay, by adding in one extra note here. So you notice that in the beginning, you only have one note. But at the bottom, when you do it, you have two notes and the chord is also two notes. So there's a bit of like, it's called building up effect. So if Mozart had access to BandLab in this modern day and age, he'll be overlaying two tracks here. This is one track, and then he'll be overlaying two tracks here. So this kind of variation is what I call an overlay variation. Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so I want you to notice here, this is an irregular rhythm. It's a swing note. Yeah, dong, da, dong, da, dong, da, dong. Yeah, so this actually can help to make a piece more lighthearted. So when you do this kind of swinging, right, it makes the tension a little less. Okay, because it's not as rhythmic as tap, 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 tap. Now you hear it, tap, 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 tap. It makes you happier. Actually, it has this happy inducing feeling. And then he goes on to continue the happy feeling by doing very fast notes here. So notice how this can be done, okay? Okay, I think I'm not going to go through the rest of the video, okay, because it's all very similar. Okay, so basically after that variation, Mozart kind of repeated kind of the earlier stuff that he went through, okay, which means that it's not as interesting as before. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed it. Okay, so this is how people do variations. And as what I said earlier, music is all about repetition with variation. So there's very few songs that don't repeat the theme. okay, most songs will repeat a central theme, be it the chorus or be it like a certain block of notes that are familiar. Okay, this will help to make the song more memorable. Okay, because let me tell you a trick. Okay, the human mind works like this. The more you listen to a particular music sequence, the more you like it. Okay, so this is proven. Okay, so in order for like some music albums to be top sellers, okay, what is the best strategy? Actually, the best strategy is for this music to be kept playing on the radio stations. Then people will hear it. Oh, this is a familiar piece of music. Okay, think about it. How many music that you like are not those that you heard many times? Okay, I mean, there are some cases where you hear one time, you like it a lot. But for like pop songs where generally all of them follow the same formula, like what makes one pop song nicer than another one? Like, let's say, for example, Ed Sheeran's Shape of You. I mean, you could easily like it for another similar pop song, like by Justin Bieber or something. Yeah, so, okay, maybe not Justin Bieber, but some other actor, I mean, some other singer. Yeah, so Justin Bieber makes very catchy songs, by the way. Yeah, he knows how to get the rhythm right. So, a lot of times people's taste for music is influenced by how often they hear a particular kind of phrase. Or basically, the more you hear it, the more you like it. So if you introduce repetitions in your song, you vary a bit here and there in your theme. Okay, like a lot of games nowadays, they like to use the same theme. Like, have you all played Final Fantasy 13? Okay, so if you play any like the later Final Fantasy series, you realize something. The main theme is repeated in more than 20 songs, in more than 20 themes. They just do the theme slightly faster, slightly slower for the different modes. But the main theme is repeated in many songs. Like Final Fantasy, the main theme is dun 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 dun. Then when they do it for happy song, they will do dun 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 dun. Then when they do like very sad song, they do dun 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 dun. Yep. So you can actually hear the modern game soundtrack. I don't know about Celeste. I never really heard their music, but I'm very sure that there's a certain theme, okay, that might be just repeated throughout the entire game in various forms. Okay, and then you will soon associate that soundtrack to the game. Okay, so just check this out when you next play a game. Okay, this is actually quite a modern trend, quite a common trend nowadays in current games. In earlier games, you don't have this trend. Earlier games, each soundtrack sounds very different. But in later games, where you have the ability to remix the tracks, you realize that there's a trend of the main theme being repeated, sometimes very hidden in the background, sometimes very prominent. Okay, maybe this will be like, let me just show you like the Final Fantasy VII remake. I show you this just to make you see this point. Yeah, so sorry about delaying. Okay, I wanted y'all to do the activity, but I think these are quite interesting stuff. So so you take a look at my screen here. So you can see that like the Riffs theme, right, is used in this many songs. So the same theme, right, is actually used in like a lot of songs. Yeah, so if you hear the song actually as the theme inside there, it's just repeated in all the different soundtracks. Okay, so I'm not gonna play this, okay, because this will take a while, but I think you get the idea. Okay, so this variation and repetition is important for modern kind of playlists. All right. So what is surprisal? Okay, so variations and surprisal are very similar. Okay, variation is actually a very smooth kind of transition. I would treat it like you go from like you then go to I mean, it sounds okay because but if it's something like then you go to it's like the triplets kind, then it sounds a bit weird because you are not primed for it. It's not related to the previous part. It's not just a single note change, add one counter melody to the main melody, add different styles. Actually, the change emotion part, counts a bit like surprisal because you'll be surprised. It's not something that you expect before that. Okay, so if you have a fixed pattern and then you suddenly change it that is like totally different from your previous patterns, that's what I term a surprisal. Okay, like suddenly you play then after you change to do, you change the loudness, change the pitch. Okay, this is a new way of doing it. So if you look at our members creation, the VV section, he has on the 12th second of his song of VV section, there's a music blackout for about 1 second. After the drums come in, boom, 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 boom. So this is another way to introduce surprisal, okay? Because you don't expect the music to suddenly stop playing. So sometimes I realize YouTube ads do the same thing. The whole 5-second ad has no sound. Then it makes me wonder whether your computer got a problem or not. Then you look, oh, it's actually an ad running. So this is an example of a surprisal. Okay. Change key is also a surprisal. Okay, but I would say that this and variations very similar. It's just that I will treat variations as very subtle changes and surprisals to be very abrupt changes. Okay, but both can be used, okay, in your music. This one is typically used when you want to introduce like a new like boss, a new action scene, then you do this kind of surprisal. All right. Any questions so far on this theory part? Okay, if not, actually I covered quite a lot of theory too. So now let's do the BandLab part. Okay, so I will spend about like 10 minutes to just show you how to use BandLab. Okay, then after that, maybe we have 15 minutes each to go and do our own Twinkle Twinkle Little Star song, and then we come back again to like share the song. Okay, so create a variation to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star song, so you can add like chords, arpeggio, minor key, blackout. So do what you need to. Okay, now I will be sharing my BandLab just to show you how to create this. Okay, so let's go to BandLab. Okay, so this is BandLab. I think all of you are familiar, okay, with the basic functions already. So what I want you all to do is to create a basic song for the Twinkle Twinkle Little. So you can either do this like in the Midi editor here. You can like create your notes here like this. Oh, sorry, this is can you all see my screen by the way? So yeah, this is like, so we can use the Midi editor here to like the okay, so that's one verse. Okay, you can extend. So over here you can extend this part here to increase the number of verses you want. So this is the Midi editor. Let's play and hear how it sounds like. Okay, so you start from the beginning here. Okay, that was a little fast, but yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, so it will sound like. Okay, so for today we will not be doing harmonization and chords. Okay, that will be a next session. Okay, but what I need you all to do is, okay, so basically Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you all know how it sounds like. Then after that, the next one will be here. So it's actually easier to use the Midi editor than to play through, because when you play through, you realize that the notes are not. So you realize this is a repetition. After that, you go back to the first structure again. Copy this one, Control C or Command C. Okay, I'll teach you a technique to paste these notes. Okay, so in order to paste here, you just click on this part here. Okay, you click on here and then you press paste. Okay, then it will paste wherever your cursor is. So this sounds like that. Okay, so this is the bass note. So I want you all to vary this accordingly to like, let me just demonstrate to you like how one variation could be. Okay, so one variation could just be like, instead of having it like that, okay, you can do like then you just shift this note one higher like that. Okay, so Okay, maybe you don't affect the first one, but you can affect this from the second one. So it's like, you change this up to one note like that. Okay, and we can hear how it sounds like. Okay, so it doesn't sound that nice, okay, because you need to also shift this note up one semitone and like that. Okay, so let's so this is like a form of variation. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start with this template. Okay, I will send you all the link so that you can take the template from here. All right, then what I want you to do is to create another verse behind it. Okay, so you can just copy and paste this thing here. Okay, so I copy this one and then I will paste it here. It's not possible. Copy and then because I didn't extend this fully, then I will paste. Yeah. So you can hear this. Oops. I didn't mean to have this variation. I want you all to get the original. So this is very simple. Just change the second part to make it sound similar to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but different. You can change the rhythm. You can change. So next week we'll work on refining, adding more tracks and so on. But right now, you can also change the rhythm. You can make it faster or slower. So you want to make it slower, you can change it here like 80 beats per minute. You can also vary by like alternating this note like that. So you can have a swingy effect. So this is how it sounds like. So dong, dong, dong. So you can open this note also. So these are some techniques that you can use. Yeah, so this will make it more swingy. So you can do stuff like that. Okay, so if you want to do, okay, let me just create another part here that I can record and show you. If you want to do like more minor keys, you can also do this. So let's go to the instrument like that. Yeah. That sounds okay also. It sounds weird to end here, so you must end. Yeah, so you can do whatever you want for the variation. So yeah, as a default, if you are interested to make it more pop, okay, you just by default you can add a drum machine also. So it will just look like A and B. So for today we will just look A B A B. Yeah, so you can just like copy this one and paste it here, so that it sounds more pop. If you are doing the pop version, yeah. So okay, copy and then paste here. Okay, so there's also other things you can vary. You can also change the instrument. You can play like yeah, lo-fi is a nice thing to do also. Or you can make it like a flute maybe, yeah. Okay, so if you like to make this like muted, you can just click on the muted here. Then you can play without the drum machine. Okay, and if you want it to be a solo, you can click on the S here, then this will be a solo. So like over here, if I want this instrument to be solo, I can click here. Okay, so what I will do is I will go back to 120. Okay, so I will actually invite you all over here. Okay, let's see how to invite everyone. Okay, so you can just take this and not do from scratch. So copy link. Okay, so yeah, let's go to this link here. Okay, and then we can all like take this and improvise a theme. Okay, and then yeah, can I have any like feedback whether you all know what to do to modify the song? Yeah. Like
So, but we just copy paste a new block, right?
yeah, so you can just change the entire thing actually. So when you actually go to the link, right, can you all just export this out to your own one, so you don't edit, so you like can go to file, like I can't remember how to get to your own. Gabriel, do you know how to, like, how do you fork?
To fork, there's different ways to do it. If you want, you can export the track, and then maybe drop it into Discord. I think you select the tracks and then you right click. No, the tracks. Yeah, you select each track one by one, and then you can right click on the left side.
Oh, you can export as a MIDI. Yeah.
Yeah, you can export the not the region.
Don't do as MIDI,
just take the
don't do as
instrument.
MIDI.
Take the instrument.
The instrument, yeah. On the left side of the left panel.
Yeah, so don't need to export.
Yeah. The other way to do it is you have to go back to the main menu. So you have to go back to the bandlabs menu, your library. Then I think that's how we'll see it. We'll see your track, and then we can right click your track and then duplicate it. If that's
I wonder if I can just like download.
Yeah, you can do that also.
Yeah, maybe you can just download the tracks. Yeah, then you can work it on your own place so that we don't override each other's progress. Yeah, that'll be better. Yeah. If not, you will see that your song has been edited by everyone else. Yeah, so so I want to see you all do a variation. So basically the first part of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star will be the normal one, and the second one will be your variation. So I want to hear how it can be a variation or a surprisal, depending on how you want it to be. So exercise your creativity. You know, this is wrong. This one is
yeah. This is the way to export it one by one. So you export each track, then we drag and drop that into our project.
actually very simple. Why not you all just copy this whole thing, and then you go to your own BandLab. You go to another BandLab and then you paste it there. Yeah. So rather than go through that, you just go to another BandLab. Okay, click create. Oops. Click create, and then basically just paste your files here. Okay, so over here probably need to create like, okay. Yeah, so probably just need to like copy this into it. You just go there and you copy to a new project. Yeah. So unfortunately, BandLab doesn't allow forking. I thought they did. Yeah, but oh, I cannot paste here also.
No, you can do forking, but it's not in this menu. It's in the home page.
I need to publish it first, right?
Yeah. Then I think,
okay.
but it's easier to put the track. I think because you can just drag and drop the tracks into your own project.
Okay, so let me just publish this Twinkle Twinkle demo. Okay, because I want to make it as easy as possible for people to see. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go back to BandLab. Okay. Okay, so like this Twinkle Twinkle demo. Then you can go studio and
I think you click share. Yeah. Is it
no,
public?
I think you just have to go here. Yeah, it's public already.
Okay.
So I'll just give you all this link here, and then you all can go to this page and go to the studio here. Yeah. Let me just revoke your invite. You know, actually I can't. Yeah. It seems like everyone's going back to the same page though. Okay, I got a suggestion. All right, I got a suggestion. Okay, what we'll do is like this. Okay, everyone just download the soundtracks yourself. Yeah. So you go to File, Download Tracks. Okay, and then you just download like the instrument. You download like that. Okay, so pardon me, this is the first time I'm having issues to like. So you have an instrument here. Okay, I think if you were to like drag and drop inside this here, you will be able to get the. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, very simple.
Wait,
all right. Yeah. Let's not let this.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not let this affect us too much. Okay, so everyone can just use the same thing. You'll just add more tracks off. Yeah. So maybe what we'll call this is this is Gabriel. This one, who Thaddeus, is it?
Yeah. Can I don't do Twinkle stuff?
Okay, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm just messing around. I think I'll just mess around.
Yeah, sure. So when you actually play your song, okay, when you want to test out what it is, okay, you just basically just put solo so you can play your own song yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm figuring out the functionality slowly.
Yeah, so let's do the variation. So I will just leave it here. Okay, I won't change anything so that y'all can like do it.
Oh.
Can you edit, by the way?
For some reason, I can't enter the project, but never mind. It's okay.
Oh, I can give you all the invite link again.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you the invite link. It's on the Discord chat. Sorry, it's on the Zoom chat.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, so you can either differentiate by time or differentiate by the section of the track. Yeah. So this one I'll just call it Chongming. Yeah. I'm going to delete the drums. It's a bit annoying. Yeah. So yeah, y'all can just take the track.
Oh, one thing for the drums, if the drum machine actually limits you, you can use the Midi percussion if you are interested. Then you can control the length, because with the drum machine you can only put dots, right? But if you want to make more, you can.
Okay. So actually, I didn't want to go through the drums today because the overlay part is next week. Yeah, but I think right now let's just try to see whether you can create a variation. So Thaddeus and Edwin, I take it that you are doing on a separate screen, is it? Because I don't see all
I'm
that.
just doing something different on the banner.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah. Then in that case, Gabriel, you take the first half, I take the second half. Yeah. Yeah, your first half is yours. Yeah, they're not doing it.
Okay, can let's see what we can create.
Yeah, I'll take the second half. 3 verses, just do 3 verses.
3 verses? Okay.
It's quite interesting. Like the key of it, I don't know how does it determine the key like automatically, is it?
You mean this C, is it? You can
like when you do the it's there, I see. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, thanks.
You can do your key over here.
Also, is there a way to do triplets in the MIDI editor? How do you do it?
Oh, you mean to do the triplet rhythm, is it?
Yeah, the MIDI editor. How do you do it? Is it very hard or what?
You mean for the drums or the?
For like anything?
I think the best way to do it will be to just do it through the MIDI editor.
Yeah, but how do you do it? I don't know.
It's it's a bit of maths. You just do 1 and a third for the first
so let
one.
me just
but it's like it's not precise, right?
let me just teach you over here.
Fine.
Over here, this is 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
We just edit this one. So over here, you just do it somewhere in the center.
Turn off the magnet. Then if you want, then you can have better control.
Turn off the what?
The magnet on the right, top right.
Oh, there's a snapping. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But you have to just like guess that.
Yeah. So it's something like this. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no way to map triplets into BandLab. So you can.
You can change the time signature to get it precise, then change it back. But that's like extra steps.
When you change the time signature, you only can change for overall. You can't change for track base.
Yeah. So it's a bit annoying.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Jazz guitar. You can use different instruments, okay? You don't use the same one. All right, I'll try a jazz guitar version. Okay, actually, I might as well do from the start. Yeah. Oops. Let's use an organ. Nah, it doesn't suit the key.
Oh yeah, is there like a better way to like copy paste the loop stuff like without using the cycle? Like how do you just copy paste it a bunch of times?
So you just go here, copy. Okay, then you just put your cursor wherever you want to paste it.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then you
But
right click
like
paste.
there's no like repeated way to do it.
You want to repeat your track, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically just need to do this. You
Oh,
can
you can
also
merge the regions. Okay, I see.
you can do like double copy and double paste.
Yeah, like you can copy and then merge and then copy and then merge. Okay, I see.
Yeah, you can merge
Got it,
and you can also split the regions if you want to. So I'll show you a very nice technique. Okay, so if you want to like basically you want to change your sounds, sorry, if you want to basically change the width of this thing, you can just do the enlarge or the magnifying glass. Then you can view larger areas at once. This magnifying glass here. Then you can copy and paste this entire regions.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
But that's quite fun. I never did this before. So.
Yeah, no worries. You just play around. So for me, I managed to pick up BandLab within like a few hours. Actually, not a few hours. Actually, a few minutes is enough already. BandLab is very user friendly.
Yeah.
You just click, you play. And my favorite is using the record function because then you can customize your beats like based on your feel. So if you have musical background, actually, if you do like the Midi method where you just put one by one, actually this is very inconvenient.
Yeah, it's quite slow, but
Yeah.
you can record and quantize. It's not bad.
Okay, so what I normally do is I will record over here, then I will edit it separately later. So if you want to like fit it into more human timing, which is called quantizing. Okay,
Yeah.
Taught you all this. You can actually quantize it to the nearest interval. So like over here, if I want to quantize it, I can just go here. I can click quantize. Then it will quantize to the nearest like 1/16. Yeah. So for me personally, I don't like to quantize my songs. Okay, because I find that after I quantize it, it becomes very robotic.
Yeah.
You can humanize it also.
I mean, but it depends on the style of the song. I think.
Yeah, correct. So if it's a very regular song, classical song, you might want to do it separately. So there's another thing that's missing in a traditional instrument here, which is basically the fact that in a traditional instrument, you have expression. You can actually go higher or lower in terms of your loudness you want to play it. Here, there's this thing called velocity. So you can actually change your velocity here to indicate how hard you hit the notes. Okay, then there's one thing that you can use is called automation. Okay, I didn't teach you all this, but I think this is a nice time to say it. You can click here. Okay, this thing is the automation, and then you can configure like your sound levels throughout. Like you can suddenly from here go louder. Then like after that you go softer. Yeah, so this automation is a very good tool. Okay, when we go next week, you will see that this tool is used quite a lot. Okay, when you want to have multi-track overlay, then you want to gently introduce one track while fading out another track, you can use this automation. Yeah, so I use this quite a bit. Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't have the expressivity of having a real keyboard here to put your emotions in. But I think this is the best we can do. I mean, to be honest, game music, Midi sounds great also. Yeah, Midi sounds fine. Yeah.
I think
I got kicked out. Sorry, Chongmin, I got kicked out of the project, so I can't edit anymore.
So you want the link again?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Oh, no worries. I mean, if you make your track in double speed, you can always change. Yeah, I'm not too sure whether I can like drag these notes and make it less. Yeah. Okay. Are you all ready to like share the songs already, or still need a bit more time?
Well, let me add this drum loop first. Give me like a few minutes.
Yeah, no worries. Anyway, please continue this on your own time. Okay. At the end of it, I want to actually have you upload this. So the homework for this week is to upload your version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star onto BandLab, and you can do this easily by clicking on the publish button. And then you label your project name and just publish. So after you publish, the whole world can see it already. So yeah, just publish it. Then it will help you, because you see, if you don't publish your song, BandLab will forget that you actually did this project. So you better publish it.
Is it? But you can save it or not?
Yes, you can save it, but it's better to publish it.
Oh, sure.
Just if you publish it, it will guaranteed be on the public domain. If you save it, I have experienced that I've saved one project and then it suddenly disappeared. I couldn't access that project anymore.
I see.
Yeah. So I think best to just save it under a name. I mean, these are not like songs you are trying to earn money from, right? So you don't have to worry about copyright. If not, you can I don't know, download your song or something. Yeah. Next week I'll talk about mastering here. But basically you just need to publish your song like that. Next week will be fun. Next week we'll do the multi-track overlay. So that'll be cool. Yeah, y'all can hear it.
Maybe someone press save. I can't see anything still, but yeah. I mean, if I can't access it, you can just play what I have with all the.
Okay, then you just play separately, because I cannot see it here.
No, I don't have anything. It's gone on my side.
Oh, you mean your whatever editor is gone?
Yeah, I see the whole project is blank for me now.
No.
Yeah, so I think you just play.
You copy and paste your stuff?
No, I didn't. So you can just play whatever I have.
All right. Come on, one more minute. Okay, we got to end the session already. Okay. Yeah, I know everyone is very excited to create your own music. That's great. Okay, but don't worry too much about the song. Okay, so Edwin one is not bad. Okay. So in the actual thing, you might want to split this up into 2 tracks. Yeah, because there's like I can see it span about 2 to 3 octaves. Yeah.
How do I share it with you guys?
Do you have access to the project?
Well, yeah, it's my project.
You can try to copy and paste the.
Oh, I can invite people, right? Copy link. I think I found the. Right.
I'll just have to shift Gabriel's one to the front. Sorry, Gabriel, yours is overwritten, unfortunately.
Overwritten?
As in your creation is gone.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Hopefully something of it is there still. But whatever you do, don't refresh the page. That's what I learned.
Oh, because you refresh, then you lost it.
No, my page crashed. Then I refreshed it, and it was all fun. So.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So you know what I learned from this? I learned that
I
BandLab
see.
is not very good for sharing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have a very nice update.
This one
Okay.
is. Yeah.
So Ray, you shared a link with me, right?
I put it in the Zoom chat while I was
Okay. Shall we all just like play our respective parts and then we call it a day? Yeah. Then as homework, you all just upload this and then maybe you can share the link on the Discord. Okay. So let's hear Gabriel's first part. Okay, which is unfortunately like only 10% of whatever he wanted.
Why are they also like condensed? Is it just like you can zoom in like how many measures you want to see?
No, because I wanted to do like mass level like.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can also like. Oops. Yeah, I think best not to move my part because mine has automation. But yeah, I actually don't really need the automation. Let's go back.
Oh, what's this?
Sorry.
Okay, there's a lot of functions I'll explore on my own. Yeah. It's quite
No. Don't worry. The functions I will go through more next week. Okay, this week is just introduction. Okay, so let's hear Gabriel's one. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, not bad actually.
Then yeah.
Okay, so I have actually created 2 tracks, but my second one disappeared. So it's okay. I'll just play my track.
Okay.
Why is it like that?
Sounds like piano, right? The trills. Don't know whether you can do trills.
It sounds so weird. But yeah, the MIDI is quite bad for that kind of stuff, right? Well, that's okay.
All right. Edwin, your stuff is gone, by the way. I can't see it. Yeah, so I think when you edited it, you also deleted the second half of my track, but it's okay. Yeah. All right, let's hear the one by Thaddeus. How come I can't seem to play it?
You cannot play the link now.
I mean the link, but I see no. Okay, so I think it's very weird. How about you all just share your stuff and then you all play from your computers?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Thaddeus, you can share your screen now.
Is it possible that this can be in person or will it always be online?
If you want in person, we can do it in person next week.
That'll be fun. We can record we can bring instruments and record for each other.
Yeah, no, I mean if let's say it's just the 4 of us or the 3 of us, I think in person will be fine. Yeah.
You see?
All right, let's go. Yeah, you are good enough already. You can do the rest.
but it's not like it was very manual. You get what I mean? So I feel like there's a lot of like shortcuts.
Wow, you're using 5 tracks already. The beginner first time to BandLab can use 5 tracks. Wow, not bad.
Is your song inspired by any other game?
This is not my song. It's a song I know. I heard. I didn't make the song.
Oh, okay.
It sounds a lot like those kind of sand levels, like Egyptian levels. Yeah, it's something. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that's very much it.
Not bad, not bad. You have a very like ringy sound at the back. Very good. Yeah, in
fact,
fact,
this harpsichord is not bad. It's quite like creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got most of it actually. The
but there's a lot of instruments, so I need to explore.
Yeah.
The problem, right, is that the drum kit is like there's like. Let me show you.
Don't use the drum kit. Use the MIDI drums. Then you can customize.
Yeah, there's this one, right? So it's like you from here, right? You have to like go and click each one to see what each one is. Yeah, I mean, so if you want to look for a specific drum, right, you gotta like do this and then like FFF
No,
and like.
you can press the play button on the left.
No, it's kind of hard to hear it in the middle.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
sound,
true.
like.
But
But like, I spent a while looking for this like Kavasa sound.
No, but you got the percussion right. It sounds good.
Mm.
oh nice.
Nice. All right. Thanks, Tadis.
Yeah.
So actually, if you want, you can experiment with this thing, the effects that you see on the bottom left, right? You can do stuff like studio reverb, all this, which sound nice. So yeah, I'll touch more on that next week. Yeah, but the idea is that you can actually customize your song to like maybe change the key, make it have the sound of like fading out effect. Yeah, those kind of cool effects. You can do it on BandLab also.
Yeah.
Okay. Edwin, you want to share yours? Wow. Yep, it's good. Okay, we don't have the sound.
Yeah, you gotta take the sound when you start sharing. Just unshare first. Yeah, there'll be like a tick checkbox for the sound. I think. Try playing it.
Very nice. That was like a sound blackout, right? Yeah. So you say you like weird rhythms. Actually, not just you like weird rhythms. Our brain loves weird rhythms as well. But it must be weird to a certain extent. So it must still be predictable to a large extent. You can have a weird rhythm in the middle, but you shouldn't have the weird rhythm throughout the song. If not, it will sound weird. Yeah. So there still needs to be some form of predictability for the brain to feel happy. So yeah, just take note. If you are doing weird rhythms, at least the weirdness should be consistently weird. So that you can predict the weirdness. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So yep. I think that's great. You all want a physical session next week? We can definitely do a physical.
Yeah, we can record. We can instruments and record. Wouldn't that be so
Edwin,
much
do you
more
prefer
fun?
physical or do you prefer virtual?
But I need a venue lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, venue can make not that.
Do you
can make
have
the sound.
Oh no, you can always do a virtual. Sorry, do a physical, and then we can just record it like outside of the programming lab one. There's a lot of benches there.
Oh, so just go outside and play.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, I can bring a keyboard. MIDI keyboard.
Sure. Then actually, since it's just all of you all here, we actually don't really need a recording. We can just have the end product, which is the song.
But we can work collaboratively. Wouldn't that be so much fun?
Yeah. Sure. That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
We can just work on a song that you like for a game that you like. Then we can just be on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I've got to go. Yeah. I'm gonna say hi to my kid.
Oh.
Hello.
What the heck?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah. We got to go. You got to sleep already.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll stop recording.